from Joe. I appreciate your questions, and maybe we can go, actually, this would be a good segue into some of the tips. He's asking, what's the most effective way to keep people coming back to watch the videos, and how can you add a personalized side to it? So why don't we do this? Why don't you give us maybe a handful of just quick tips that we can take away, use today, and I'll do the same. And yeah, maybe along that you can answer that question. Give us some tips, Jayson.
Well, I'll start with a question, then it will lead to some tips, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So most effective way to keep people coming back. So invite them to come back. So when it comes to social media, we really haven't talked about social media, but that's what we found is that 57% of the buyer's journey starts online. It doesn't matter if you sell aircraft parts to Boeing or you sell whatever it is. Buyers start online now unless they come to you through a referral. And even then they go to your website. So you need to make sure that everything you do has a proper sales message. I talked to tons of, especially B2B B2B companies, and then SaaS, you folks all take it to the next level of doing it wrong. But the challenge is, how do we, I talked about humanizing the brand, but how do we make sure everything we do is a proper sales message? And it starts with your website. So using that problem solution formula I gave you earlier on your website. And then inviting them to come back by using social media. So getting them to follow you on social media, and probably more likely what you're going to do is you're going to follow them around on social media. So the big social media platforms to track people on are YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Twitter is okay, but it's a bit of a dumpster fire, so use sparingly.
LinkedIn, you can do stories now, by the way, I noticed.
Was that now?
You can post stories now on LinkedIn. So they're trying to be like Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, we're curious to see how well that plays in a B2B or a business community.
Yeah.
But it would be another good opportunity for personalized, because really what stories are their personalized one-to-one videos. I mean, it's a smaller, more less professional excuse to create a video. So if you really are sold that all my videos need to be, look like they came from my cell phone, use stories on all the different platforms, because that's perfectly acceptable, and no one expects those to be super high polished, even though you can use them and you can get good results with them.